look what just dropped in, this by the sea wreath, and we're gonna make it together. This one, we're starting with a smaller wreath base. This is a 10-incher, so it's gonna have a very small center and work out from there. So the idea is it kind of has that sunburst look. I bet you've seen wreaths like that before, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. So I'm Khalid, welcome to Khalid's.com, where I show you how to make floral designs for yourself to make and sell. This is our fishtail fern, and this is what we use to green out our base. When I'm teaching in design school, I talk about setting lines, setting the perimeters, greening out the base, and we use a greenery. And in this case, we're going to use what we call as our fishtail fern. It's a nice wispy greenery. It really works well to create this nice soft feeling, and I love to use it for that reason. So we're going to start with it as the first layer on this wreath. Now what I like to do is push these up however long you think you want to come out from the base. This is how long it's going to be, so you've got to think about that when you start to make your cuts. So if you don't want it to be really lengthy out, I do, and the way I'm going to teach it is the center's tight, but we're going to come way off of that. So I'm going to push these up to where there's 4 or 5 inches, and you're just going to cut all of these off here. Now, if you need a link to the kit, just let us know in the comments and we'll get you a link. And I'm just slicing all of these off. Now, you have a couple of bushes of this in the kit. We're going to start off with one because I know I want these long, okay? So once those are trimmed off, I'm going to start to put them around. And I like to just work my way around the wreath base. Now, in design school, I teach you how to do this systematically so you can know my system for putting it in. But today I'm just going to walk you through the process of going around the perimeter. Okay? And you see how that kind of popped back out? That's okay. The main thing is I don't want anything to go through to the back. All right, we want everybody to stay kind of without poking through the back. All right? Keep working your way around. And the main thing you want to do here is not get too long. Like that piece is a little long, so I gave it a little bend. All right, so we've got 4 pieces on. Now I'm going to come in and we're going to put one in between each one of those, okay? We'll put one here. And we'll put one up here. And just make sure you're putting hot glue on those. I'm using an electric skillet, so I'm just giving it a swirl in my electric skillet over here and putting it in. We're gonna have to cut one more piece off the other bush, and I kind of stayed in that middle zone on here. I don't want to get too far out. If you go way out, your wreath will get bigger, and we only have so many supplies that come in the kit, so you don't want to go too wide. So we're going to cut one more off, and we'll put that one in between these two. And now you're starting to build up your seaside wreath. Now, this wreath doesn't have to be for a nautical theme, but I wanted to have a piece that you could use all summer. If you live down by the beach and you wanted to pick up on those nautical color tones. So big jewel tones, really lush colors. I love this. So our base is greened out, and that's what you start with all the way around the perimeter, okay? You got it? All right, next we're going to add in our eucalyptus. Look how beautiful this is. Our eucalyptus has that beautiful green tone. It has a good movement. When you start to design wreaths, you want some movement. So when the customer sees their wreath open on the door, that there's a little touch of motion. And we always are teaching depth and dimension in design school, but motion is also important. So a piece like this works really great. So I'm going to take these and start to tear them down. And I'll just separate them out and just tear them into sections. And the nice thing about these, when you pull them off, they're like just perfect little pieces for our design. So easy. And always make sure you save good wires like this. These can work as hangers, all kinds of things. So I keep nice wires like that to use for other projects. So there's our first 3 pulled off, and you can see the little stems right there ready to go. And we're going to keep doing that for each of the stems we have. Y'all, it's been such a joy to be with you guys online now for our 6th year. of design school and being live and being part of the influencer world out in the floral design industry. I have loved every minute of it. I thank you so much for allowing to be, me to come into your homes and teach you, and for you guys get to know our family better and being part of our community and being a Bloomerino. I always appreciate each and every one of you, and know you're welcome here. You're always welcome, and anytime you need us, we're just an email away to help you on your journey. I love to see the beautiful things you're creating, and when I get to find out how much peace it gives you to create and design and how much that's changed your life, it's such a blessing. So don't ever forget, thank you so much for being part of our community, and remember, you're such a blessing to us, just as much as you are to us as we hope we are to you. So once every piece is trimmed down, I'm ready to start to put these in our wreath. And these are going to be perfect just the length they are. I might cut them down just a little bit because I want them to kind of go between each one of these greeneries. So I'm going to trim them just a little before I put each one in. I really want the fishtail to be the longest. That's the first greenery we put in. We're just going to go in between each one of those. And oh, it's just got that perfect little bit of motion. You see it already? You see it? That's what we're looking for. That is exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to take these and trim them down all three at once, I hope. Let's see if I can cut power through. Yay! Now, work in between each greenery, and that'll help you get good, even distribution to start with. You're going to love this wreath, y'all. It is so pretty. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of people use an extreme amount of greenery on their designs to where they're losing their shape and their dimension and their design. Remember, there's a fine line between, oh, that looks lush and that looks like it needs a haircut. So go slow. You only need so much to make it give you that lush look, okay? And I'm gonna put these in between. So you can see that we're already getting good coverage on this design because we have made sure that we got good distribution, okay? And so that's part of following a recipe. And when I'm teaching a design school, that's what I'm teaching. So you can learn recipes, modify them for different seasons. And beyond that, you know the techniques, you know the geometry we're using to create the looks. So you can start to see those lines and those looks and repeat exactly what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna bring my last piece in right here. So that worked pretty well. I just went between every piece. If you get any glue strings, just pick them off. We don't need those there. You see how pretty? See all that wispiness I'm talking about? Oh yeah. It's juicy already. We've got one piece left. I'm going to put that with my other fishtail greenery. And now it's time to grab the berries. And the berries are really going to scream that fun, it's not necessarily a nautical look, but I love that it coordinates with our cloche we made earlier in the season. I thought this would be a great transition. So you could use it nautical, or you could use it with a whole different look like we have in our bird cloche. So I'm going to take this one. This is another one that can break down fairly easily. And if you'll just pull it, it comes out and all the berries are individual, okay? So that's fine, go ahead and do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take with these berries, and then you can say this grape wire. We're going to make little clusters with the berries now, okay? So once we pull it off the stem, we're going to take these and cluster them in threes. Or twos. Threes or two. Two might be easier to start with. All right? And then what you want to do is trim them to the same length. These do not need to be long. So I'm going to trim them where they've got about an inch stem. Not really long. Just about an inch. And then I'm going to go into my hot glue. And now we're going to put these right in the foreground. The berry's going to work its way right here into the front edge. Okay, so these are shorter. They're not as long as everybody else. So I'm going to put one on every other fishtail to start. Okay, so I'm going to do one, skip a fishtail, do another. All right, you got it? So here's a cluster of two, one long, one short. Trim it to 1 inch and let's go around. This is a great wreath to start on. Start kind of playing with flowers, see if you enjoy this. It's an incredible hobby that you could get into. Of course, you can always sell your work. We'll be happy to get you in our business coaching and help you on your journey of selling. It also works great for gifts. Oh my gosh, it makes the perfect gifts for teachers. Teachers love this kind of stuff. You can give them different ones all year long. You know, and wreath making is truly an escape when you get to play with the florals and enjoy the process. You can escape reality and make your craft room a place where you can get in there and make some beautiful pieces. Okay. And there's that one. So we're going to skip one. We're going to come to this one. And that's just helping us get it started. And the reason we're skipping is because we're getting even distribution, okay? And these are all short right now that we're putting in, okay? We pulled these all off. And we're putting in the shorties. Come on, shorties. It's my absolute pleasure to get to teach you guys, and I'm just so happy to call you a Blue Merino. And when you are a Blue Merino, you're part of our family, and we are happy to support you in your journey of making everything more beautiful. All right, skip it, come to this one. And I think we're doing pretty good to start off with. Now, you can take a look, step back, take a look, see how you're doing. Beautiful. It's looking great. Now, pay attention, like this one I have a little bit backwards, so I'm going to fix it right now. But I should have watched that a little more carefully when I put it in. I have a pet peeve for backwards leaves, so we definitely can't have any backwards berries. No, no. All right, let's take apart our next bush. We're going to do it exactly that same way. So these will just pull upward, and we'll remake our little clusters into twos. If you get any little paper on there, we're going to take and just trim that off or pull that off, because it'll end up just grabbing too much glue in our electric skillet, and we don't want to deal with that. Okay, same process. Here we go. Pair them up. Now, you might be going, well, where are we going to put these? It looks like we got a good amount in. Well, we're not done yet. Now, I'm going to come in between each of these, and we're going to do a longer one now, okay? So a little bit longer. So I want you to cut this about 2 inches, so it'll be a little bit longer and shoot out above those others, okay? You're going to go in between, and these will go up higher. Beautiful. Okay, in between these two and out a little further. All right, one longer and one shorter. Believe me, I'm not going to steer you wrong. I've made thousands and thousands of wreaths, sold thousands on Etsy and at craft shows over the last 27 years of being in business. So I do a lot of things differently than you might see other people do, because I've really actually sold wreaths for a living where I had to sell them to pay my rent and continue to have my business. So even though I love teaching now and sharing this with you, that's not how I've always made my income. It has literally been by selling finished wreaths. So I love being able to pass on legitimate tips that really matter when it comes to production, if you ever want to sell. And I'm not big at using extra supplies and things that we don't need. If you just learn how to prep your products really well and buy good quality products, it'll make a huge difference for you in the long run, because you'll end up with a higher end looking project. It will really matter. So here's a long one, so come to the next one. We're going to go between with another long one. And I'm making this in the clockwise direction. You could also make it counterclockwise, totally up to you. Just once you pick a direction, that's the way you got to go around, okay? Or it'll be just too wild if you try to go against the grain. So now in between these two, a long one. So a longer one and a shorter one, and you just keep working your way around. And now it's got that lush berry look. Oh yes, I love that. These always sell right away for me too, especially when you have a lot of berry in there. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Can you see this by the sea? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, guess what time it is? Now we're gonna work on the inner perimeter, inside here. So keep your berries off to the side. We're gonna use those in a minute, but we need to grab our eucalyptus and our fishtail fern. These are gonna work all on the inside. Now with our last eucalyptus spray, I want you to stand back and see if you have any holes. Wherever you have a hole, you're gonna use this one. So I'm gonna stand back and look at it. And looking at it from here, I see a little bit of a hole right here. So I think I will put this eucalyptus down here and it'll fill in really nicely. But you check your perimeter and see where you want to use it. So I'm going to go in down there. You can even break it into multiple pieces too. If you feel like you needed a couple pieces, go ahead and do that. I'm going to go right under here. I had a little bit of space there to go. Now, I said we're working on the inside perimeter. These we used on the perimeter outside earlier. So we've got to take and push them up, make them shorter. All right, way up. So they're little short babies. Now, if you have another hole anywhere, you could take one of these long ones. You need at least 3 or 4 for the center that you need to hold off. But if you needed something long on the outside, you could do that too. So I'm going to take 3 of these and we're going to work our way around in the middle. Or 4 would be better, I think. And you're just going to go in between where you just put the berries. So there goes one. You see how they're short? And I'm still going clockwise. It's really important. If you are loving this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us. We'd love to have you in design school where I'm teaching techniques and tips and tricks just like this every week. You get new videos weekly, free access to workshops and challenges, and you also get discounts on supplies, including up to 20% off when you do a larger order. So we like to spoil our design school students. They get first access to new supplies and anything new coming out in our content, they get dibs on it first. So it gives them kind of an insider's look. Plus, I'm always teaching higher level floral designs in there, so you can learn to take your designs to the next level. Okay, so you see I just went around the center. Now look how beautiful. Boom. Beautiful. So you can see how this look is coming together. Now I'm looking around the perimeter. I think we're looking pretty good. So I've got one little piece left here. If I need it, I'm going to hold that for any holes that we have at the end. So now our last step is to kind of get berries on that inside. So what we're going to do is pull these off again. And you can see we're just layering this up. Layering it up step by step by step. I'm going to take these and we're going to trim them really short. Just about a ½ inch stem. Just barely enough to get into the wreath, right? So when I say ½ inch, you can see here, ½ inch, not really long at all. Now we're going to take these and we're going to put one on top of each piece of greenery we just put in to start. Use the same method. And we call that piggybacking in design school. And sometimes when you get into doing a lot of wreaths, you can do that in one step when you get better at your process. And you can lay that piggyback together with the greenery. There we go. These type of wreaths are beautiful. And we made this one on the small 10-inch wreath base, but you could take and make it on a bigger one as well. If you got 2 kits, and they'll come with the smaller wreath base, but you could always substitute a bigger wreath base and make a big one. You're just going to need more supplies, so grab a couple of kits if you want to do that. What a beautiful color palette here. I think this is just so pretty. Okay, and then one more on top of here. And then you're going to have a couple left. And you have your one piece of greenery. And what I want you to do now is you're going to take a look and you're going to see if anywhere you have a hole. Okay? So I'm looking. I'm going to squint my eyes, take a look at it. And I'm gonna see, look, I could put something more here, so I'll put a little berry there. I'll put one of the berries and try to grab any glue strings you have. You don't want to miss them. I hate when I go to craft shows and I'm looking at these beautiful florals and there's strings everywhere. I'm like, get those off. It's kind of like the backs of greenery, y'all. It's my pet peeve, right? I understand. Sometimes you don't see them all. Hey, at Halloween you can leave the glue strings on. It's part of the effect, right? Okay, and I'm going to put one more piece of fishtail right in here. I had the one left, and I think I can put one right here. Beautiful. And then one more berry. Let's see. Oh my gosh, we did such a good job. Let's just put one right here. Wait till you see this all finished. She turned out beautiful. And we're calling this By the Sea Wreath. This one goes perfectly with our birdie cloche over there, and it's a beautiful collection. This would be adorable beside your bed. And also, a little tip is if you lay this flat, you can put a beautiful battery-operated candle right inside there. It would sit right in the middle, kind of like this. Can you imagine how beautiful that would be? So many different options for this wreath. I can't wait for you to try it for yourself. Make sure you come back and tell us if you enjoyed making it, and share with us your finished projects, because we can't wait to see you next time we're here together. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful that is, and stunning. You can use this all year long, and you can make it to go with any color decor, of course. All right, Blue Marinos, I'll see you next time.